So in the last episode, we saw the beginning of a great North American war, and we'll have a look at that in a second, but for now I just wanted to point out that we have the Paulicians, this blue country right here, fighting against the Monophysites. This is obviously a defensive war for the Paulicians, and I really do wonder if they are going to hold their own. Now, they have a 51 stack, which is, you know, somewhat capable, could be capable of destroying the Monophysite, the smaller Monophysite stack. So if they play their cards right, they could potentially defend. But the advantage is definitely on the Monophysite side, especially after they destroyed the Menicians here to the south. So we might see the Paulicians gone, which would be yet another religion wiped off the faith of the earth, but we shall see. We shall see how they do. Now also we have the Copts together with their allies, the Bogomilists, and their vassal, the Jews, against the Kharijites. And yeah, it seems as though the Kharijites are focusing, extremely on the south here, and they're making some good progress. They have broken the Jews, and now they're getting into southern Coptic lands, but in the meantime, their main lands are being besieged, so I'm really not sure if that strategy is going to work out for them. But yeah, those are the other wars, and now let's get back to the big one. We have Nahuatl already being absolutely overrun by the totemist forces, as you can see. Also some Mayan troops doing their job as well. But at the forefront, we can see the totemists for sure. And I do, however, believe that the totemists are not going to get anything out of this. This is going to go all to the Mayans. I mean, they have so many cores they can take, and then, well, I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to take all of the cores at once, but it's possible. Now, the Nahuatl, last time I checked, are actually winning a battle right now, which is pretty good for them. That was probably mostly Mayans. No, the totemists are in there as well. But look how many men are pouring in. Yeah, 140,000. You gotta give it to them. Nahuatl are fighting well, defending in the mountains here. But I think that was their last stand. Now their capital is gonna get captured at some point, and they will have to give in, and that will be it. Last time I checked, we were at -45. Now it's -62, so they're definitely losing quite badly. And we have some new wars popping up. The Shinto declaring their second conquest against the Zoroastrians, and once again they call in the Sikh to help them out. And we have, oh yeah, we have a big war breaking out. The Fraticelli, the Lollards, and the Bogomilists fighting the Cathars and the Waldensian alliance. So this is it. This is probably the last chance to stop the Fraticelli from winning this series. The alliance of the Cathars and Waldensians. If they can manage to do it, we'll see. I mean, the Lollards, they don't usually do much. They stay on their islands. If they do that, it's just going to be, it's a 2-on-2. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, and the rest we already know about. So yeah, let's definitely go ahead and check that out. We have the first engagements here. Now, the Waldensians, they look small, but they are probably more useful than the Lollards are. So I think if the Cathars manage to beat back, well, it's not only the Fraticelli, it's also the Bogomilists, and we've not really seen them fight any important wars in the last, I guess, century, because they are surrounded by friends. The Iconoclast to the southeast, and the Fraticelli to the northwest, and well, the Slavs don't really put up any resistance at all. Now, there was one where I also missed. The Suomenusko and Slavs together against Hurufi, who are being probably guaranteed by the Iconoclasts. So they are at war as well, but I think it shouldn't be too difficult for them. The Slavs are not worth mentioning, and well, Suomenusko, I'm not really sure what kind of power they have. They certainly do have a lot of forces, but I doubt that they're actually going to be able to defeat the mighty Iconoclasts. But we shall see. Okay, there's a big battle. Paulicians trying to defend, and they have taken up position behind a river, but they're being defeated. Yeah, okay, so it's an overwhelming force. That was kind of to be expected. So yeah, the Paulicians are probably going to get destroyed. Actually, you know what? No, hold on. It looks as though the Paulicians actually won that battle. Never mind. Because I saw them running. Okay, so that's actually good for them. That's actually good for them. Alright, so here we have the second war. The Shinto obviously making some nice progress in the north, just like they did last time. But if you remember, they need to capture this province. It's an imperialist war, so the capital counts for everything. So if you don't take that, you're going to have to give in once again. Alright, so the Sikh are hard-pressed. Yeah, we definitely need the Shinto to come to their aid as quickly as possible. Otherwise, this could turn south really quickly. Alright, so let's have a quick look at the wars just so we can get an overview as to what's going on. Now, oh my god, the fetishes as well as the Inti, their ally the Inti, decided to declare war on the Fraticelli, and this is the entire alliance in this Ant 1. So the Fraticelli, Lollards, Iconoclast, and the Bogomilist fight the fetishes in Inti. Now, this is technically a big thing, but we know that the fetishes and probably the Inti as well don't really have the navy to support this war. But we shall see. I mean, the Bogomilists are in 3 wars, the Fraticelli are in 2, and well, the Iconoclasts are in 2 as well. So they are quite busy at this very moment. The Nahuatl war has not really changed that much in terms of war score. Mexico is still under siege, -21. I think as soon as that falls, we'll see a peace deal because Nahuatl just gonna have to give in. But they're trying. They're still trying, but they get absolutely rolled over by the totemist forces. Yep, they had their chance if they had taken out the Mayans prior and not, messed about with Shinto California. They could have been strong enough to defeat the totemists, but they waited too long. They've been too impatient. Too patient, I should say, and so that's what you get for that. So yeah, the Inti, we can see they have most of their forces still at home. Not really a big surprise, and same with the fetishes, I assume. Yes, so they are obviously occupying what they can from the Fraticelli, and actually, you know what? They are binding some Fraticelli forces. At least some 50,000 men are down here, and also some Bogomilists. Actually, no, those are reformed. Never mind. So, okay, so at least the Fraticelli send down some forces that they cannot use against the Cathars. There we see the Kharijites fighting back against the Copts, but they get absolutely destroyed because, yeah, their troops came in way too late. They're forced marching, but yeah, that was really bad, really poorly done. If they had gotten their troops together, they could have actually fought back. But that is shameful, a shameful display. Okay, here we see the Bogomilists get absolutely destroyed by an alliance of the Waldensians, well, mostly Waldensians, and a Cathar army as well. The Lollards, however, are not staying. They're not staying patient. They go right into Cathar homelands. Well, I guess the homelands are in southern France, but you get the idea. And so yeah, they're not staying on their island for once. So that. Yeah, we'll have to see how that turns out, or turns the tide of this war. But the Fraticelli have abandoned their lands. Rome is under siege, although I guess Umbria is the more important province to take. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. Let's see what this war has brought. There's still no peace. Mexico has fallen, but it looks as though some of the totemist forces are being pushed back. I would really like to see what is going on here. No, they're still fighting. Okay. The Suomenusko are losing their war against the Iconoclasts. Not a big surprise. The Zunists are fighting the Jains. Okay, we'll quickly check that out, but basically that means, yeah, the Zunists are defeating them here, and then they will just take over, well, at least, I guess, these provinces. I guess the Jains will stick with one province, because the Zunists cannot get there. And, ooh, look at that. So in the meantime, while the Sikh are helping out the Shinto in their war against the Zoroastrians, they have an awful amount of Rajajani separatists. So that could really potentially end bad for them. I think they're going to have to get out of this war prematurely. And once again, the Shinto, I'm not entirely sure what they're doing, where their troops are at. They're at least not in the north. There are 40,000 right there. 85,000, 24,000, 30,000. They really got to come closer to help out the Sikh here. The Zoroastrians are powerful. They are a powerful bunch. Alright, the Paulicians, their army has been defeated. There's a small stack running around, not enough to actually cause any trouble to the Monophysites. Okay, yeah. So the Bogomilists are actually, some of their lands are being occupied. It looks like this Cathar army is going to get routed, most likely. And yeah, so the big alliance between the Waldensians and Cathars, they have a huge stack. They might be using that to crush the Lollards here. It's looking good so far, but they should spread out more, I think. They have not managed to capture either Rome nor Umbria, so not all too successful for now. Okay, let's quickly check out what's going on with the Nahuatl. We have seen peace, and Okay, this almost looks as if this was the Texan border. It's not. It's not actually Texan border. I think that would be right here, right? Yeah, I think this would be the border of Texas and Mexico. So they took some 3 extra provinces, which is fine though. So yeah, the Mayans grew incredibly powerful. They have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces, 7 provinces. They by far have not taken all of their cores, but they have managed to unite their country, and they really look powerful, especially with this wasteland. It looks as though we have 3 equally powerful nations, but that's obviously not the case. The Mayans are still the weakest of those 3, but the Totemists are still the strongest. Now, I did not actually think about this. The Inti being in this war together with the fetishists against the Fraticelli and their allies did mean that Lower Columbia is under siege. So we might see the Inti take over some provinces, and that could potentially lead to a war between the Nahuatl and the Inti, which would be really cool. But at this point, I think the Nahuatl would lose. I mean, they have taken quite a beating, so I don't think they're going to come back from that. But I do like their borders. This is at least the US-Mexican border we know today. This is not entirely correct, but close enough, I would say. Alright, other than that, we should quickly see what else is going on. So Suomenusko is still losing. The fetishists are actually winning their war against the Fraticelli. So let's quickly check out what's going on down here. So, right, wait, so hold on. Why were the Fraticelli in reformed land? I'm not entirely sure. But, okay, so their provinces here are being occupied. This is wasteland, by the way, so that's that. The Cathars, so the Cathars could potentially take over some lands here, but I doubt they will. Alright, so the Lollard lands are being occupied completely. We see a battle here, Fraticelli being destroyed, and this, wait, there's a Fraticelli and a fetishist army. I think the fetishists are going to get destroyed here. They have almost no infantry left. We'll see, though. The Kharijites had to give in to a war, and they were cut in half. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So they lost... In this war, only 3 provinces. They lost 2 provinces in the first one, 2 in the second, or 3 in the second? Maybe I'm not entirely correct here. But they have lost... Not all of this in one war, but most definitely these 4 provinces I can say. So yeah, cut in half by the Copts. And did the Jews take something as well? No, they did not. Alright. Well, that was kind of to be expected. Other than that, yeah, Paulicians still holding out. And what is going on with you? We still see the Sikh here. Have you dealt with your rebels? No, your rebels are still rampaging through your country. You definitely need to do something about it. But we have rebels in the Zoroastrian lands as well, but those are just peasants. Okay, now if you're going to Tumen, that's the wrong way. Why would you go here? You need to go south. Ah, my god, the Shinto logistics are just terrible. They are just terrible. That's, you know, what I've criticized the Nahuatl for in their war against the Shinto, that they were being so unsuccessful with their forces, ineffective, and that's what the Shinto are doing now as well. It's just such a huge provinces they need to cover, and they're not really doing a good job. And well, at least the Zoroastrians have similar problems, so that's good for them. The Iconoclasts seem to be having some struggle. At least we just saw the Slavs destroy a Hurufi army, but there's 100,000 Suomenusko there. You know what? I'm not too sure anymore if the Iconoclasts can actually defend the Hurufi here, because they're not. Well, actually, they're absolutely crushing the Slavs here with the reinforcements probably coming in time. Yeah, they did win this. They did win this battle. Huh. Alright, it's hard to tell. The Waldensians are being occupied, and so are the Cathars. I do believe that the alliance is simply too powerful. Yeah, it's too powerful for Cathar and Waldensians alone to hold their own. They would need some other ally, either the Reformed or the Norse, or preferably both. Because, yeah, that is not going too well. Alright, so we have peace in North America. We have Canada, broken free, of course. They have changed their color, but they're still Protestant, so that's good for them. That is awfully nice for them. Brazil's down there still. Okay, we have the confusions against the Vajrayana. Okay, that's not too important, I think. Soon as winning their war, also not really a big surprise. Well, that is crazy. Now this time the Shinto are actually winning, even though they still do not have the war goal. I wonder if they're going to be able to take something this time around. But yeah, so far it looks as though the Fraticelli are actually losing their war against the Cathars. That's interesting, because they're the attackers. Okay, so this time they're not the defenders, like they were last time the Cathars declared. So, okay, this might actually be what saves this alliance here. They also have the Caribbean on their side and their various subject nations. Okay. But they're losing both wars. The Fraticelli are technically losing both wars that they're in. But they're not, it doesn't really look like that, to be honest. So the Shinto have basically done everything they could. They have taken over all of these provinces. I guess they could take over this one last province here and destroy the last forces, but that is it. That's all they're going to contribute. And the Inti destroyed Lollard, Columbia, and that's all they're going to contribute. The rest is going to have to be done by the Cathars, but it looks as though we do not have peace. But the Cathars managed to retake their country, which is at least good. So now they just need to defend against the huge Lollard stacks here in southern France. There's a big battle, the Lollards against the Cathars, and it's looking bad for the Cathars. The Waldensians were forced marching in as quickly as they could, but they simply came too late. Alright, well, that's sad. Now we have, the Bogomilist, right. I totally forgot the Bogomilists are in this as well. Obviously causing quite a lot of damage to these guys. Okay, so the Sikh are destroying a Zoroastrian army, but they're also being destroyed over here. I am missing Shinto forces. Okay, 60,000. Also helping out their buddies here. And they did it. They did it. Yeah, the Shinto have helped them out. Okay, I can now see a lot of Shinto forces here, really close to the capital. I wonder if this is a fortress. This is a fortress. The last stronghold protecting the Zoroastrian capital. Once that falls, we'll see a huge, massive increase of power by the Shinto. And we might actually also see the Sikh gaining some of their provinces back. I would definitely say that they not recommend it, but that they deserve that. Of course, the Sikh also recommend this peace deal, but anyway. So here, the Confucians are probably just gonna go after this one province. This is what they declared for, I imagine. And the rest is just, extra bonus. But they should easily win this. Still, they have not tacked up. I really don't know what's wrong with them. But, yeah, apparently they're just not interested. Okay, and we always have a full carpet siege here. The last province that is holding out is the capital. As soon as that falls, we'll see the Zunis probably, as I said, annex most of the Jain provinces. Okay, now I don't really know where to look. Maybe the Paulicians being fully annexed? It's hard to tell. Let's quickly check out the ledger. So the Shinto are making progress. The Fetishists is making some progress. The Cathars have lost some war score. Monophysites are close to piecing out. Suomenusko still losing. And the Zunis are winning as well. Okay, so we're going to see a few annexations. The Paulicians and the Jains. We'll see, yeah, this war is pretty clear, I think, as well. I guess here's the two big things. What's going to happen in Europe between the Cathars and the Fraticelli? What's going to happen between the Zoroastrians and the Shinto? And, well, I guess to some extent what's going to happen with the Fetishists, but I don't think they're really going to have that big of an impact here. Okay, so the Waldensians are once again the battlefield of this. So this is good for the Cathars, except for this one, expedition by the Lollards. Their homelands have been untouched. But the Waldensians, their capital has fallen. So I don't know. They did win a battle, it seems as though, but only because the Bogomilists came too late. We still have a few Cathars here. Yeah, it just seems that it's too many people. It's too many people. Let's have a quick look as to how the numbers, or what the numbers say, because that's with so many combatants, it's hard to tell. Okay, it's pretty close. In fact, they have the same numbers, the same amount of artillery. They have, they actually have more cavalry, but a lot less infantry, and that's really important. So they still have the war goal on their side. I don't think that's really going to get taken by them. It's not under threat because of the fetishists, so at least that is what the fetishists are good for. They're protecting the Cathar. the Cathar war goal. Waldensians, however, are on low, so they're going to peace out, which means Cathars are going to stand alone against Lollards, Bogomilist, and Fraticelli. Whew, not good. And these three are not going to help much in the war in Europe, so we'll see a peace soon. I'm pretty sure of that. Alright, Suomenusko are now being occupied by the Hurufi, or more the Iconoclasts. They still have a big army. They actually have 2 big stacks. Wow, if they play their cards right and destroy these Iconoclasts, they could still turn this around. Alright, so the last province has fallen. What are the Shinto waiting for? There's the capital. Grab it while it's hot. Okay, the Sikh are making some progress as well. So the Zoroastrians did a really good job of defending the first time around, but I think now that cost them quite a bit. I would assume that this war, the first war, holding off the Shinto, cost them a lot. And the Shinto were smart piecing out there. I guess they were really just testing the waters and to see how well the Zoroastrians would do. And they wouldn't, push it too far. But now they came back with, better prepared, I guess. And yeah, there we see the Paulicians completely annexed, which is going to be another religion completely gone. They still obviously are there, but it's only a matter of time until all of these provinces get converted. So yeah, that's sad to see, but that's just the way it is. Monophysites are the ones seemingly who come out on top in the Middle East region, although it's hard to say because the forces on the peripheries are more powerful than anyone who started right in this region. Alright, so other than that, we still have the fetishes. They have all of this under control. They even managed to get their forces onto Lollard, East Africa. That is good for them, but it won't really give them all that much war score, as I said. There's a huge Fraticelli fleet there. Okay, for once, I guess the Catholics are happy that they're not being declared war upon. So, yeah, I really assume that they love that. The rest, I'm not really sure why I'm looking at North America, because maybe the Totemists are ready to go to war with New Reformed. The Faith, yeah, it looks as though they want to go to war. This is a pretty clear signal. I guess we're going to see a war there very soon. But I think I'm going to have to end this episode here. We'll have a last look at these wars. So, yeah, this is going to go its way. We'll have the Hindu against the Manichaeans, not too important. Shinto winning their war as well, and the fetishists. Alright, so the Fraticelli were losing both wars so far. The Hurufi have managed to actually grab some provinces because of the support from the Iconoclasts. But, oh my god, look at that alliance. The Cathars, right, the Iconoclasts are not at war with the Cathars. Anyway, though, that was it for now. I will come back next time to see the conclusion of these wars. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.